Morning. It's about 10 o'clock a.m. It's Thursday the 25th, 2017. We're here at Bo Collins' house again. We shot a video, I don't know, a while back. He's having trouble with AEP PSO. Remember, we're doing stories about AEP PSO ratepayers and the problem. We were at a house in Grand Lake just recently, and we're learning because we've been doing this now for a while. I've been involved in this for about 4 years, and because I've been involved in it for so long, I'm sensitive to the radiation. Because when I was in the Marines, I did radars, and so that kind of sensitized me. But I got this special suit. I have to wear a suit now, a $1,700 suit, to help protect me in these high radiation environments when we go places to do these videos, and plus when I'm at home and things. But anyhow, we did a video with Bo here a while back, and he's having trouble with AEP PSO. And in his particular situation, about 2010,
yes, sir.
AEP PSO came in and put a transmitting red face AMR meter on this house. It's still there. It's right around the corner. We read that for you last time. It's transmitting.
Yeah, every 20 seconds, give or take.
Yeah, and it's high radiation levels. And it was interesting, the meter reader guy came from AEP PSO on Tuesday, and Bo was here, and Bo let him in to read the meter, and Bo said, well, why you have to come in and read it? Because it's still transmitting. And the guy working for AEP PSO, the reader, said, well, they took away our instruments. We can't read them anymore from the street. And so to just show you that it was a transmitting meter is the point
right
here. And so he came and read it anyhow. And so then...
you need something?
Bo Collins, I need a reading off of a meter somewhere. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's on the back of my house, and you can do it electronically because it's still activated.
Well, they took my handheld away. I can't scan anything anymore. They took them away from us. Said we had to manually read these things anymore. So.
Okay. Yeah, you can come in and read it.
Is it safe?
It will be when I'm home. Come on. Go. Go. You gonna be the one reading it all the time?
Yeah, most usually. Unless I'm on vacation.
Well, that meter is still transmitting, so there's no excuse for you to have to do it by hand.
127. That's all I need right there. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. When are they supposed to come out and try to change my meter again?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about their schedule. I've got a read schedule in my truck.
It's from the 25th to the 30th. Is what it says.
Oh, you got one?
It's on my electric bill.
Okay, all right. Well, that's when I'll be back.
So you're done reading the meter for this month?
I got it right here. Yeah, I'm gonna type it in right now.
So. I'm willing to cooperate with you guys. Do you want my phone number so you can have access to my meter? So you can call me the day you come out to read it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, hang on. Let me pause this.
Bo was having trouble with them because he doesn't have the money for this opt-out thing. This whole opt-out thing is taking place. And Bo's not the only person. First they wanted $71 a month before January 1st, I think it is. Then they went to $101 a month and $28, $101 initial opt-out, non-refundable, and then $28 a month after that. Well, there's people that can't pay that financially. There's people out here struggling. Bo's not the only one. There's another lady in Tulsa I'll tell you about if I can remember. But in Bo's case, we came out, we did the YouTube with him, and he's got symptoms. There's a list of symptoms here. There's 24 on this page, but we have a Navy military document here that has 2,300 studies, And there's actually 5 pages of health symptoms on this, okay? And so what's happening is we're being all suddenly electrocuted by this wireless radiation, because, you know, electricity was meant to be inside. You can hear in the background Bo's generator. He's running a generator now because he just had his power pulled yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yes,
AEP PSO came down this alley in the back. They cut the wires to his house.
So why is my power off? Why is my power turned off?
What's that?
Why is my power turned off?
I'm just following orders. It's none of my business why it's off.
You come to get your meter too?
Not my orders.
Do what? Are you a supervisor?
Yes, sir.
What I think you need to do is let people have their anti-log meters back when they're opting out.
I understand. I understand. We're just following orders.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
But you need to know this, that I'm going to fight it.
Okay.
I've got other people I've been talking to, and any information that you can help me with would benefit you guys. I know it's not the little people, it's the ones on up.
I understand. You may want to contact Mike Ruley.
I've done talked to him.
Okay,
I've talked to him till I'm blue in the face.
That's our contact.
Okay.
Okay.
But I needed to know this information. What truck number is this?
Put me on the internet, me and you're gonna have problems.
Well, oh, he brought the police out with him. Cool. When you come to get the meter off my house?
Put those dogs out and we'll get it right now.
We'll be a smart ass about it. Come do it.
I just ask you, if you want us to get the meter off your house, put your dogs out and we'll come get it.
Well, that meter's the whole problem, and you guys know it.
That's not even a smart meter.
It is transmitting. I've had it tested.
I'm not gonna argue any of that.
Well, whatever. And here are you. Well. Bear, get in the house. Oh, so they're not even going to come take the meter.
But this was the notice he got in saying that he had to get it called right away or they're going to cut his power off. But what's Bo going to do? Okay, they put a transmitting meter on his house in 2010. They didn't tell him. They tell you it was transmitting?
No, I did without internet for like 2 or 3 years. Then my neighbor came up with a banner newspaper.
Oh.
And I started reading that, and it clicked. I got one of them on my house. So I called Miss Stuckey over in Bartlesville.
Stuckey, I think.
And she gave me the song and dance about it. Only transmit when we come by to activate it or something to that nature.
But it's transmitting all the time.
Right.
Because we showed you that,
So
right?
I've done been lied to and lied to and lied to.
Or ignored.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So Bo, you know, there are all these symptoms. Back to the symptoms. He's got a lot of these symptoms here, because that meter's been on his house a while. But But he didn't know it until he read the banner again, just like the lady at Grand Lake. She's, going to the doctor, spending all this money, and she's sick, and she doesn't know why. Well, she finally figured it out when she read the banner. Her neighbor gave her the banner. And I held the banner up in that YouTube, and I said, well, the other 522,000 ratepayers for AEP PSO haven't read the banner, right?
Right.
And that's how you found out. So,
Yep.
so Bo calls me, and that's why we came up to talk to him.
Well, it was about 6 or 8 months after I started reading the banner because I was stuck. I had no options. I didn't know what to do. I planned on going to jail. That was my first video. I stood by that. It didn't happen, thank God.
Well, you wanted your analog back.
I want my analog back.
They took it off.
To me, opt out means you do not want their digital meters.
Right.
I don't know if that's just my thinking or
No,
how it should
that's
be.
theirs. Yeah. Right.
So this is where we're at now.
Right. So we came, and he doesn't have the funds, and people that don't have the funds, why are they having their power turned off? I mean, that's kind of crazy. Why can't they kind of come up with some kind of payment program or something, or there maybe be some kind of government agency that would help pay or something?
Just work with us.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. But he's saying the right thing about his analog, because I'm gonna this is just real quick. One of the biggest things with this radiation on people is you have ringing in your ears all the time. And at my house, I do. Everybody does. You can ask them. And what was the first thing you noticed when you got the power turned off?
30 minutes to an hour later, I had no more ringing. I didn't have a pressure on my head and my body. It just seemed like it just went away, which is kind of amazing.
Right. And so I'm going to leave these different symptoms with him, and he's going to kind of go down through there and watch now to see what kind of things change. He's going to keep a little record there of what's going on here. But, we've been trying to help people understand this is happening not to just one or two people. It's happening to a lot of people. Like Olga Sheehan, we're showing you documents where they're having to leave their houses. The lady in Grand Lake, the doctors told her she had to leave her house. She's got to get out. 2 doctors told her that. And I'm sorry, but I have to mention this.
Wow.
The lady like Bo that can't afford the upfront $101 now because it's after January 1 was talking to Mr. Ruley, and this lady says, well, don't you guys accept doctors' letters saying that I'm not supposed to be around this radiation? And it went something like Mr. Ruley said, well, they're not real doctors. And she said, well, what is a real doctor? And he quit talking then. So now, not only is the utility an expert on microwave radiation, which they never had any knowledge of, and I doubt any schooling about, they're now experts on who's a doctor. Now, this is getting a little weird now. And then you keep hearing this misinformation that keeps going on. And like when we were down talking to this lady a day or two in Okima, she's saying, well, the utility guy down there came along and said, well, she says she calls it a little paragraph of feel-good issues. Like it saves you money and goes through that whole little litany. And that's all they talk about, okay? And they ignore all this other information. So we were down there talking to her the day before, and she's pushing 80, this lady. I mean, she's a pistol. She came up with this folder, this document, okay? And she's mailed it to the governor, to Attorney General, Corporation Commission. She has a list of all the people she mailed this to, and she has a bound document. They're all sleeved documents because the utility guy down there said, look, just get on the internet and see what you think of this radiation. It's wonderful. It's going to tell you how wonderful it is. I asked her, I said, how many documents compared that is bad to the documents that are good? She said it was 99% bad, the documents. I mean, this lady has done all this, okay? mean, she did a fabulous job. So she did one for me. They're all the exact same, and she gave them all to our elected officials, who really didn't acknowledge kind of what was happening.
A lot of people.
Yeah, but see now, and what we're learning is, like this lady in Grand Lake. I said, you call, they misrepresent, if not outright lie sometimes about what's going on, and so they put you aside. They won't let you say what's going on, just like they did Bo.
Right.
Bo had that same experience, with them. And who in their right mind, this letter to opt out was the first one. It was August the 3rd.
Yeah.
That came out. And listen to the indemnity clause on the second page, which they kind of retracted, but listen to it because it tells you how dangerous these meters are. Customers hereby agrees to release, hold harmless, and indemnify AEP PSO American Electric Power Company and all their affiliate companies and any of their officers, directors, employees, and agents against loss, liabilities, cost, expenses, suits, actions, claims, including claims arising out of injuries to persons or property to damage to property caused by or any way attributed or related to customers' request for a non-standard meter. Okay, we go on. The removal of an advanced meter and or the subsequent installation of a non-standard meter. Why didn't all the 522,000 other ratepayers get that paragraph, that indemnity clause, before they got their meters, right? So, I mean, are these that they're going to put on their houses, the red AMRs, non-transmitting, are so dangerous that they did that? And so who in their right mind would accept that? Who in their right mind would, buy a product with that kind of paragraph, an indemnity clause? Well, that just shows you there's all this confusion with this whole process that they've done to everybody. And just to show you, the utilities have been, given Kool-Aid to the state legislators to drink, because you take a look. This is the 55th legislative session last year, where I think we're going to be in the 56th, and it starts this new one February the 1st to the end of May. Okay, so here's this very pretty picture document of all the legislators, right? And where do you think this came from? Who do you think provided this? Right up here it says, right there, right on the front, it says, published by Oklahoma Association of Electrical Cooperatives, your Touchstone Energy Partners. Okay? So, I mean, and then you go in, like I go deliver the newspapers. I'd go there every week, write an article, and go deliver it in the Banner newspaper. And on their desk are all these 3x3 or big old thick, kind of note things. AEP PSO. I mean, what? So kind of what's going on with all this? It's kind of crazy when you start seeing it or hearing it. So what we're trying to say is, there's right now there's let me see if I can. There's legislation. There's legislation as we're speaking that it just came out. I mean, now Bo is kind of ahead of the game. He's telling you what's happening here, and that's what we're doing with the Banner newspaper, because we have a little more access to information than the general public, so we're trying to let the public know. So here is Technocracy, News and Trends. Oklahoma bill to defy feds will allow opt-out of smart meters. This was January the 23rd. It says, a bill pre-filed in the Oklahoma House would ensure utility customers could opt out of installing smart meter technology on their homes and businesses. It's Scott It's Meeachin. McEachin. Okay, thank you. He's a Republican. House Bill 1435. And so that would allow the public and businesses not to get a meter, which was supposed to be the same thing back in 2005 when they instituted the legislation that you had to opt in to get the smart meter. But the utilities never let anybody know that. And the Corporation Commission went along with it. So here they are. They're talking about this bill and how they're pulling information. There's even an article in here in their comments from the American Civil Liberties Union saying how damaging this kind of stuff is happening with the information. When OG&E was allowed to get by with not testifying to all the damages this meters do, they were supposed to, the legislature passed enabling legislation to protect the data coming out of these homes. Okay, so you get a smart meter, there's no Fourth Amendment, there's no warrant for search, they're getting all that information. Well, they were supposed to do that 5 years ago, and Assistant Attorney General Derryberry a few months back sent a letter to the Corporation Commission that says, hey, it's been 5 years since this all started and you guys haven't instituted these kind of protections for the consumers. And so the ACLU was telling you there's a big potential here for problems. So they're saying with the bill, no smart meter, no data. I mean, this even here, they're talking about the federal government lacks the constitutional authority to fund smart grid. And so the easiest, go ahead.
Okay, I can't remember who I called. It was that day before I called you, I called probably 1,000 people. One of them told me that it's the U.S. government mandate that they do this and not the utility companies.
No, the federal government provided the money for this.
Okay.
All right. The federal legislation said you were supposed to opt in to get a smart meter, and it's not to opt out. So the whole thing's become backwards now. But what this state legislator, House rep, is doing is trying to get us out of the program. And if several states will do that, they can stop the whole smart grid, what's going on. And you know, Donald Trump was just elected because people are tired of what's happening to them and their privacy and the globalism and the special interest groups. And when he spoke his inauguration speech, he said he's giving back the government to the American people. Okay? This is what this is all about. Why do you think there's smart meters going in all over the world? It's because globalism. Okay, they want to control. They're going to control your power. They're going to turn your power off. If it's too hot, you're using too much or whatever, and they're going to keep on going that way. I mean, this is, you know, there's this document that I was showing you. This lady her research led her to Agenda 21. Okay, that's United Nations, Agenda 21. Now it's 2030 and 2050 and all that stuff. That was a mandated smart meter thing, all right? So why are smart meters going in all over the world? It's not just Oklahoma.
I was looking for videos online, you know, and I think it's Paris, United Kingdom, and places like that. They physically come into your house, and it's like underneath your washing sink or something like that. And when the owners come confront them, they're basically told, tough. We're
going to turn your power off.
Right.
Just like AEP, PSO, they're bullies. They're criminals doing all this. It's criminal assault. We're all being assaulted with this radiation. So it's time, you know, we get behind or get involved with the legislators this season right now, because this bill was going to be presented to the state legislators February the 6th. Starts the 1st or 2nd, all right?
Next month.
Yeah, and so we need people to be calling in to their state legislators, especially to support Scott McEachin. I got to get that down right.
McEachin.
Yeah, thank you. And tell him you support him and find out who that committee is. That he has to get it through that committee before it moves on the legislative process. So we need to get involved now because we've spent all this time, we filed thousands of papers the last 4 years. We've tried to talk to the state legislators, but you know, when you see like this brochure being provided by Touchstone Energy, and you start looking at the connections of the utilities here, it's a problem with what's happening. So, you know, we're here to support Bo right now. I had my power turned off for 66 days 3 or 4 years ago with what happened because I got sick. And I'm still sick because of all this radiation. If I go out into the country, I can take all this off. I can work normal because I do. I've gone to places, I take my meter. Look here, this meter right now is reading 0.1. Right now, right here. And his meter's sitting right over there. And the reason it's not pulsing is there's a meter over here, but this helped block it. And there's another meter next door, but he's got metal buildings here. And there's some across the back ways, but he's got some stuff that kind of blocks all that. So it's 0.1 and the country is 0.0. We're not being hit by all this radiation. It's not electropollution anymore. They got gas meters here that are going off like crazy back here in the alley.
Non those new meters. This is an old type of a meter.
Yeah, they're older.
That's strange.
Yeah, they're almost this one meter back there, gas meters going off like all the time almost. So we're here to support Bo. Let him, if there's anything else you want to share, that's fine.
All I ask is if everybody that sees these videos can just get involved. Just make one phone call apiece. I mean, you get 1,000 people making one phone call telling PSO they don't want your stuff. They may start listening when they lose $1,200 a year from every customer, give or take. But
Well,
there's something in the works somewhere is wrong.
Right. Well, remember, you know, here you're starting to see legislation for the first time in Oklahoma for 4 years. This is a Virginia lawsuit. Donna Kinsley is suing the electric company there for doing the exact same thing happened to her that happened to Bo, right here. So Bo can maybe just take out that other electric company in Virginia and go ahead and file this lawsuit against PSO because she's asking for $3.5 million, okay, and a jury trial because of what happened and the damage to her and her family, okay? And you know, this is Andrew Marino. I think he's got a degree in like biophysics, or his expertise. I'm sorry, he's a PhD in biophysics. He's also got a law degree. He's been doing this most of his life, learning and experimenting and showing that this radiation is damaging people. The radiation goes into your body, all of ours, and you may not know it, but the body does. And so the body has to expand energy physiologically to fight it, to get rid of it, to protect your body. Well, you can't keep doing that forever, and they keep getting it worse and worse and worse, and then people get sick and they get cancer and all these things. But listen to what he says on page 44. Now, he did this 81-page document as a expert testimony before the Pennsylvania Corporation Commission there. He says, if your frame of reference is the natural world as it existed before man-made electromagnetic energy was invented, smart meter energy is unusual because it's about a billion times stronger than the corresponding natural level, more or less. A billion, right? Wow. And so, you know, how can, you know, the utilities like PSO, and this is the Tulsa World, Saturday, December 7th, 2013, say utilities dispute smart meter radiation claims. Utilities insist smart meters not harmful to humans. who's the utilities, right? I mean, they're supposed to give us power, and we're grateful. Thank you for the power. Yes, and we're supposed to put a meter on the house, and we pay you. Yes, we all do that. But they're not supposed to radiate us. They're not supposed to assault us. So we're at a point now where we've tried to expose all this. Now the legislation's coming. Now the lawsuits are coming. So, you know, when we were down at this lady's house last day or so, she's telling you can't mediate lies. And that's what's happening here. We need to sit down and have a legislative hearing and listen to all the documentation, the science, the experts, and let them have a say, finally, because it's all being ignored by the utilities. I mean, who's the utility? I mean, they're assaulting people. They're hurting people. People are spending $8,500. The lady in Grand Lake spent all this money to protect herself. Why? Because of a smart meter? We never had all this trouble with analog meters. Nobody ran around crazy and saying we're sick and paying $3,000 to get the meter off their house and out there to the pole.
After I talked to that Ruley?
Mike Ruley.
Okay. I sent you that letter. About a week later, I got another letter in there wanting me to sign their little opt-out thing. And right across there was a phrase there, we're willing to come out and move your meter
at your
to
cost.
A pole at your cost.
Yeah, and the reason that all started, this last letter, was because, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, that's what they did to me. I had to go to court. The judge said, okay, if you want power, we'll move your meter 92 feet off your property for $1,100. Okay, that was cheap compared to what these people are paying now. They're paying $3,000 or more. And I keep getting calls. I get calls from all over the country. Kansas, Rhode Island, all the same issue. They're waking up, the guy, he's sick. And he found out about smart meters just like Donna Kinsley. He went outside and there's the meter on his house.
Right.
So people are waking up. This is not going away. It's going to get more intense. All right? So Bo, we're behind you here. We want to support you.
I really appreciate it too.
You know, we're going to be here. We're not going away. So if we have to go to the state legislature, you can go with us and, you know, help me hand out papers, help me to talk to the state legislator guys. But we need to jump on this right now. Now's the time.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it's wrong. It's just flat out wrong. What makes you think I can come to your house with a microwave oven, take the door off of it, turn it on, and leave?
Yeah.
Now, what would happen to me if I did that?
Right.
I'd be in jail, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, how come this Mike Ruley guy ain't in jail?
Well,
For deceiving the public, for actually letting this happen to people when he knows. I know they know. You can look in their faces when I confront them. They know.
well, and actually now we know, let's see, we know probably 4, 5 AEP PSO employees. We know them. Okay, we've talked with them. And they're saying, we can't say anything or we get fired. Okay, that's where it's at here. That's what's happening. So we need to get past all this,
Right. Bureaucracy.
yeah, and all this
Payoffs.
this thuggery,
Payoffs.
yeah, and get to fix these families' homes again. Okay, and get analog meters back on them. You can go to, there's companies, places in the country, you can go and they're refurbished, calibrated meters. I think there was 1 million one place. So they can replace these meters, again, at our cost. Again.
I brought that point up to Mr. Ruley. Okay, if I am opting out, why should I give you $110 when I can go online, buy a certified digital or analog meter and put on my house and do like my grandparents, me and my mom's done?
Yeah.
You get your bill, you go out and you write it down, you mail them a check. But they don't want to hear none of that. They want these meters in because I guess they want to spy on us, they want to radiate us.
They want to control us.
Soft kill, I guess, is what
Yeah.
they call it.
Yeah.
I'm not, it amazes me that what they can get away with.
Right. So anyhow, you can look at all the documents. You got a computer or something, you know, or you can call me. We'll put my number up on this YouTube. If you want to help support Bo, you know, that's fine. If you want to call me, I'll put you in touch with Bo or whatever. But we need to all get together here and let's stop all this.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
My problem is right now, I'm going to be out a lot of money that I ain't got because I've got to convert over to propane or some other energy because of this. And I think it ought to fall back on PSO for what they're doing. It's not right, and the people, they know it. That's the whole kick right there. They know it's not right. And it just bothers me.
They're just trying to bully you.
Right.
4 years ago, January the 8th, 2013, I went to the state legislature, handed out all these documents, Corporation Commission, Attorney General, and they ignore you. And that's what they've been doing. Okay, so we're going to get past the ignoring here now. So we want you to join us and help us here, okay?
Yeah, please, just everybody make one phone call to this man or to any of these people on that list right there and tell them enough's enough.
Okay, we appreciate you for watching. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go out to the crime scene, Bo and I. Come on, Bo, let's go take a look at what they did to you. We're going to go out here and take a look and see what we got. Bo has a alley behind his house. You know, a lot of people don't have alleys.
It's actually a private alley because it's smaller than 15 foot.
Okay.
So
See,
PSO had to bring the law with them to get on the property, basically.
yeah, you can see the truck tires came through here. I guess you'll have to maybe get out and back up to that. I'm not sure how you have to do that, but here's where they came and cut his power. And Bo, were you in the house when they cut the power?
I was sitting in the living room. Boom, power went out. By the time I got out here, they were already lowering the bucket and putting a thing over it.
Right.
And they didn't even want to talk to me until I forced the issue.
Okay, so Bo's got
video.
pictures. We're going to put those up to kind of show what happens with that confrontation. But let me tell you, remember I told you they come individually and take you down. Okay. There's another incident right now in North Tulsa. The lady, she's older, very, she can't pay the $101 or the $28 a month, and Mike really wants to pull her power. They're going to cut it just like they did right here, okay? And so I was really upset about all that. So I went and sat at this lady's house on Monday, and about 1 o'clock, 1:10, there was a truck I could see in my rear view mirror. I had it fixed. They drove down the street to her house. Okay, here we are at Deborah Jones, and we're waiting for PSO to come pull her power. Well, we hope they don't. She has this old analog meter, which she likes because it doesn't radiate her and cause her to be sick. So she's sitting out here by her meter. Let's look at the signs that she has on the meters. She's telling you right here she doesn't want. They're killer meters. They're spy meters. She's got all these signs. But, PSO always ignores everything. But Deborah wants to keep that, right, Deborah? Mm-hmm. So we're just going to wait and see today, and then if they show up, we're going to take a video of them. And they're assaulting, ratepayers with this stuff. So we want to try to... they're going to get ready to pull her power, which is back over here to the left and behind her house to the west. Okay, we just wanted to document. Mm-hmm. Well, she wants me to check this thing here. So we're just checking all this here to show people what we're doing. Okay, thank you very much. Well, it looks like they didn't stay. AEP PSO. Okay, let me go check the time, unless this is time stamped. Thank you. They stopped about 3 houses short. And then they kind of walked over to the north side to another house, acting like they were going to look at the meter or something. But they were looking down at the street. And when they saw me, I jumped out of the car, told Deborah they were there, this lady, and I got my camera, and they got in their trucks real quick and they pulled in the driveway and shot back out real quick. Now listen, if they were there for the right purposes and they're going to do their job, then why didn't they do it? No matter who's watching, okay? If that's their job, they're guys, there's normal guys, working guys. But they didn't want to be filmed while they're doing it. And that's happened in several instances. There was an instance in Coweta where the couple was getting the meter off of their house, paying a lot of money to get it off onto the right-of-way. And the utility guy, AEP, PSO, so berated them about the dangers from this radiation, which is all documented, okay, and now legislation, and now lawsuits, that the lady was about in tears and crying from this guy. So I said, okay, next week, let's have a meeting. So we had Julie Grant, the utility guy, the husband and wife, another lady that we know, and us, there's two of us, the video guy and me, and the electric guy. Okay, as soon as AEP pulled up and saw me and the video guy, they said, either they leave or we leave. And it was made known to us that if they have bad press, they get fired. Okay, so they're telling you what's going on here. See, they don't want you to see one person getting taken down at a time, all right? But it's going on in a lot of places. This kind of thuggery that's happening, this intimidation that's happening, this misinformation. Okay, so here it is. This is the place right here where it all happened. So
That's it.
Right, so we want it stopped. We want to go to our state legislature, and we want to get this fixed.